Look at this beauty. Okay, here's what we got today. We got a Panasonic clock radio. Focus. Model number RC 7053. I had this baby for a while, got on eBay years ago, and there were no videos on repair or anything. I found some recently. It's been a good clock so far. The light bulb's been out, and the volume wasn't working. There was a lot of static. I'll show you that when I get it plugged in for you. And the latest is it's got a slow motor, like it won't start back up itself because of just weak and tired. But we're going to try some lubrication. But yeah, it's cool clock with some real wood on it. Well, I should say real wood. No, it's not. It's laminate. But another clock that would look good cleaned up. All right, let's show you guys how to do this stuff. Tear into it. All right, I just plugged it in, so I think and I saw it flip, so it may be working, but that motor definitely needs some lubrication. It's quiet. The only bulb that works is, this one over here is very faint, but there's a bulb here that's burnt out. Yeah, that's my jam. But the volume, you'll hear that static. Before it was all the time. That's pretty good. Yeah, so it still could use some cleaning. What that is, you just need to clean that. The potentiometer. I'll show you how to do that. We'll get in there. Even though I've already done it, I'll probably do it again. Alright. Start with taking off some knobs. These are just pressed on. Again. This one looks the same as this one, but don't confuse them, because they don't fit the same. I think this one has to come off. I think once I get in there, that one comes off differently. Same with this. This one does come off. We'll put him back there. This one comes off. And then I'm trying to remember. Yeah, the volume comes off. Tuner may not. I think those can stay. And the rest is Phillips screws. These are just cork. I made these. They were missing. The rubber deteriorated. So I think it's just 1, 2, maybe just the big ones. There's some different lengths, so just pay attention. 1, 2, 3. These 2, 3 I don't need to get to. I think that just was for access to something else, but let's get those off. This goes for any clock too. I mean, any clock is going to be the same way. It's not just Panasonic. This long one, I believe, was up here. The other ones are all pretty similar. I mean, you can figure out, like this one's, that's probably the long one. This is a short one. Sorry. This is going to be the long one. This would be the short one because I could feel the threads right there already. So if you screw that up, short, long. I was trying to tripod this. I guess I could put the tripod over my shoulder. And this bad boy just comes off. You're limited by your speaker wire there. And there's your basic innards. Now the motor on this one, unlike my other one, was on that side. The motor is on this side. And I think it's the same. I think it's like a same Copal type motor. Yeah, it's still, yeah, it's working. So I got it plugged in. It's spinning. So it didn't, before I unplugged it, it would stop running and it didn't have enough power to start itself back up. But we're going to give it some cleaning. And that's the potentiometer I was talking about that needs lubrication, or cleaning, I should say, not lubrication. But we're going to take that off. There's show you that there's a nut right there, like a 1/2-inch nut. Unscrew that, and then a little screwdriver. But before we do that, we got to unplug this because electrical shock is a real thing. All right, I'm going to give you this weird angle. So that is a 7/16, or this is what, 12 millimeter. push that through. There's your volume. Now these little tabs here, 1, 2, 3, we just gotta, you can see I've already done this obviously. We need to bend those off to get to the potentiometer underneath. Let's see, 4 of them? Yeah, it was 4 of them, I said 3. Bing, bang, boom. Very lightly bend those suckers. There we go. Aha! And there she is. It's just a wiper in there. Now looking at it, it looks, think of it as like a record. Anyone played records? Anyone that old? It's that surface from that needle. You hear the static on a record player. That's the same type of thing. It's got to be clean, this surface. And looking at it, it looked fine to me. I think when I initially got this radio, I tried bending the tabs because I thought it was like a rheostat type of thing. But no, it just gets dirty. So get some alcohol. I used isopropylene alcohol, which is 99%. On a Q-tip, we'll do that a little bit more. Just all along this surface here. Let me get you guys in there, because this is right in here. This is, see the little wiper goes. Or wiper, I'm calling it a wiper. That, yeah, that's your volume. So that's going to be spotlessly clean. So we're going to clean that up. And what was the other thing? Why are we in here? Oh yeah, light bulb. Here's the original bulb. It had a, I think they called it like a neon filament tube bulb, but this one broke off there was supposed to be another pigtail here, broke off. But I found these on a website. I believe they're the right replacements, somebody told me. And years ago, I took this to a clock shop, and he, well, it was a clock shop, number one. He does like real clocks, wall clocks. He couldn't find the bulbs, but things have changed in society. I think this stuff is being reproduced, or maybe you just couldn't find it now. I don't know. So I was able to get those, and that bulb is over here. I have it taped off because it comes up and over and down in here. But we'll get to that. Let me get to a Q-tip and we'll clean this first. Alright, just poured some in the cap here. Soak my Q-tip. Come over yonder. Let's see, it was the on position. This volume all the way down. I had some, so it does a full wipe this way. So I really want to try and get down in there. I'll wipe it all the way back that way. And I think if I just follow it, I can really get in there. Yeah. Something a little thinner would be probably better too than this. This will just spin all the way around. There's something on it. Here's a problem till you get that. Yeah, on the case is what keeps it from spinning all the way around. So when it's back together, but you can see that's getting dirty already. And I've already cleaned this, like I said. So we're just gonna do what we can again. Now I wonder if this, you know, it's dirty, or I'm taking off material, because it is, alcohol is pretty, I mean, it dries, that's why you use it, and it evaporates. But my volume was pretty good after that, so that I'm just going to leave it at that, and I think that's good as new. This is going to go back yonder. And then this, I think it only went on, yeah, it only goes on one way. And then if I remember correctly, it was in like that. I'll check the video. But this goes up. Yeah, see, it stops. You'd have to feel it. You can't see it, but up. I gotta, let's see where that detent is. Oh, so that's where it starts, yeah. That, okay. Volume up, volume down. Make sure, yeah, it's up, max, low, max. So that's how it goes together. Before I fold these over, just want to make sure you got it in the right position. It's something you can feel. You'd have to feel it, but you can do it. This cover off because I'm like, oh, it doesn't really need it, but that's what keeps it from going too far in the volume. So I should get that a little tighter with the pliers. Hopefully I got all that lint from the Q-tip off. I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at a camera, or in this case an old iPhone lens. That's a little loose still, but it's gonna make my phone ring and interrupt the video. Okay, we're back. A little distraction. Let's check out this volume. See if we made a difference. Yeah, see, that's way better. And I'm sure I could force a little static. That is entertainment, isn't it? Right? That's the song. In case you're entertainment. Here's one of the other bulbs. Well, I should probably turn that off so we don't get flagged from YouTube. This is the other bulb. See, I don't know why it's black. I don't think it's good. So maybe I'll change out this bulb too. But this is the one for this little area. It slips. It was like slipped down here somewhere. And this is the one I cut out. And I don't see any resistors. So let's check the voltage on these, see what they get. But so that concludes that section, cleaning. We're getting into the bulb now. So if you want to skip or tune out now. But you should probably like this, comment, subscribe, share it. Let the world know. Be a good person. All right. Let's see if we can film some voltage check here. So white and black. I don't know. What do you think? Is white hot? I know in the automotive world, white would be the hot. Maybe not in this world. I'm going to put my finger on there because I don't think it's house voltage. Now, if I wanted to ground, would this be ground? Would anything be ground on this? Anything metal? Speaker? Oh, there we go. 0.7? 0.07. So, like I said, half a volt or something. So we're getting at 0.0. Yeah. So that does get low voltage. So I don't need a resistor. So on that circuit board, it must be cutting down the voltage. Sweet. So let's do 2 bulbs on this bad boy. All right. I'm going to... Oh, that's the wrong pivot. For fuck's sakes. I don't even know how to work a tripod. It's my first day, everyone. Let's try this again. There we go. Get you another horrible angle that doesn't help you in any means, right? Okay, let's I tried to take all the sides off this last time. I know this comes off. We'll keep that nice and clean. It's got some spotting on it, but let's throw that over there in the pile. Now, I must have, I remember taking this out. The bulb goes down. What did I do? Okay, are there more screws in the front? That'll unbolt the whole assembly. Well, the bulb sits up top. That's what it is. Can you see that? It goes underneath this shield. I was thinking it went down the bottom. but the bulb slid right in there. And I must have, yeah, I think this is where I took the whole motor out. Do I still have to do that? Do I want to do that? That is the question. Does it just sit in there? Let's open up a new bulb and see how it's going to sit in there. Alright, so yeah, the bulb's going to sit up in here, and rather than fight, getting it placed in there right and not having it hang down and see it, let's take some more apart. This whole motor assembly comes out, but to do that, right down in here, this is your side knob, there is a sleeve. You see that? It's got like a split in it. Now, when I took this apart, I couldn't just pull it off like I'm doing. I really had to fight. That, I guess that band right there was really stuck. Probably some lubricant would have helped right away, but of course I didn't do that. So with that undone, this is still, I unplugged it, made sure I unplugged it. Good, good. Let's zoom out. I'm going to go back underneath, and it should be just those 3 bolts there, I think. These 3 guys. Let's do that and see if the shit looks back in there. Give you like a medium. We'll call it a medium shot. Get some light over here. Would that help? My big fat hand's in the way. All right, so that will make this whole assembly slide over a little bit, at least, I think. And the reason I kind of want to do this too is I want to get some oil on that motor, electrical motor. What did I do? I did this like a few weeks ago. There's a little tab holding these wires. I pulled that back. I think it's going to come up too because there's a... So it still has my frame is going to be in the way anyway when that bulb goes, but my misremembering, re-rememberize how this front cover comes off. It's like the whole case. Maybe I didn't have this hole. It looks like the hole that holds the fake wood on. This isn't really gaining me anything. But I am going to be able to tilt this up and get to the oiling of the motor. But let's stick with the bulb theory here. We want to get our bulbs done. So let me get a better eye on this. All right, this motor is really The whole clock is really tucked in there. Those small little ethnic people who built these things. Nah, just kidding. There's probably another way to get this out, but yeah, I'm not going to fight it. I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to do these bulbs. Sound like a plan, guys? All right, let's get out our soldering iron stuff. Let's just see if this bulb is going to work. Let's see if I were to do that and touch this bulb light. No. You're not even going to light, really? You had power to you. Is it just too dim? What's going on here? Oh, really? Oh, good thing I didn't just put a bulb in this. Is that glowing? Am I just seeing the orange? Yeah, I think I'm just looking at the copper. I mean, it's still supposed to be bright, but... Interesting. Maybe we have something else wrong here. Here's what I've determined so far. This was the side bulb that was very, very dim. Its power source is off of this circuit board. Now the one, so that one worked, but it was very dim and the bulb was, I don't know if they're supposed to be black like that. I think that, like anything, that means the bulb is burnt. I think the, I had my other clock apart. It was, the whole bulb is clear and orange. So that was on its way out. And this main bulb's power source is right off this, I think it's going to the back of this clock and to this other circuit board. So I think it's a different voltage. I think it's 120 or 110, like the off the motor, whereas this one is like a lower voltage. I don't think my meter, I don't think I'm getting the right readings on that. And these are for a 12 volt. So I think I have a bulb issue, not the right bulbs, which would make sense because years ago I tried to get the bulbs and the guy said he couldn't get them. I don't know, they have to be out there. I think I need a little more research. This particular clock, I couldn't find anyone who fixed one, but maybe I'll reach out to that forum and see what they say is the proper replacement for these suckers. Well, they look the same, but they have two different power sources. I don't know, I gotta look at this a little more, but let's move on to oiling that motor up. You try that again for you, the viewer. Shoot it in there. Shoot that down in there. Now, what it is a bushing here, and there's a bushing in the back. So I'm going to put it in here a little bit. Let her run down. And then we're going to want to flip this up at like a little bit of an angle so that it gets down the back of that motor. And then let's fire it up and give it some spinning out. Okay. Let me go. Hold you there, and I'm going to plug it in. And see, she doesn't even want, she's slow. She doesn't even want to go. But maybe let her run for a little bit with that. It's more of a cleaning degreaser oil to me. My other clock I finished off with a synthetic 5-weight 30 motor oil, and I think that's the way to go. Because you need, believe it or not, this is too thin. You need a little thicker oil in order to keep correct time. That's what I ran into. You can see my other video on that. Never mind the ultrasonic cleaner in the background. I went with the isopropylene alcohol. And yeah, see how it starts right back up? So I needed a little shot of this first to get this baby cleaned up in there. So the Marble Mystery probably would have worked over time, but this is quicker. Liquor's quicker. Okay, back on the old Panasonic. Looks like I got the bulbs in. The right bulbs. For the JOB. Yeah, this is what I needed. Needed some neon bulbs. And these NETUs, 2U, I think I wanted 2Hs, but these might be a little bit brighter, but didn't say anything wrong with that, so. Let's see what they look like. This is what the old one looked like, so I'm sure it's going to look similar to that. Company is Memotronics. They do a lot of, surprisingly, they do automotive stuff too, like fasteners and clips, so I was really surprised. The most important thing is that it came with resistors. You need a 30K ohm resistor on one leg of these bulbs. Now, I don't know where they were on this. Are they in the board? And this is just like, I didn't see them here. So that's muy interessante to me. That's definitely not it there. Is that one there super tiny? No. No, it's a piece of insulation. No way. It had to be that big. I think. Anyway, very strange that it's not there at all. So we're gonna get out the microscopic fingers here and do some soldering. So let me get out the soldering iron, get that warmed up. Okay, so getting ready here. The resistor just has to go on one of these legs. I'm going to trim it down because I want it to be somewhat in this area. Can you see? Let's see. Because this bulb sits right down in here. And then here's the rest of the wires. So I don't know how much room is in here. So I'm just going to trim down one of these legs. Maybe like halfway. And then I'm going to solder that connection there. Let's see if I can do that easily. Hey, look at that. I finally get to use my little Harbor Freight tool. This little holder for doing soldering. Comes in handy. I just haven't had to do it. Usually under a car, you're not going to have a place to do this. Call that tinning, getting the iron hot. Looks good. Let me just get rid of that slag there. Yeah, it might not be good because I see it moving. I really need this magnifying glass, but I suppose I could move it around. I don't know if I should have tied these together. That seems alright to me. I'm just going to put a little more solder in there. And that should do, and we'll just repeat. Yes, I broke that because I just put it on the wrong leg. I wanted it on the shorter leg. God. Trouble with filming. There we go. Now you can see what I'm doing. Right? Let's see if I can see what I'm doing. No, I can't because everything's in the way. Yeah, that's an awful joint right there. Let me get this out of the way. There we go. I got glasses on. I don't need that. Jeez. Get some of that solder off of there. Not the best way to do this, folks. All right, let's start over here. There we go. That's a little better. Let's rotate over to this other one. So you want to come from underneath here. Heat rises, right? Ah, you bitch. Like I said, not the best connection right now. I just want to make sure the bulbs work, really. So let's get this baby plugged in and see if she works. How's that sound? So I'm just a little worried. Should I be worried? Ye have little faith. All right, let's find a plug. What a truth there. Let's kill the lights. And let there be light. Let there be small. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's beautiful. All right. See if we can tuck that in. All right, made sure put shrink tubing on both of these because these are 120 volts or 110. That's how a neon light works. So this is line voltage. And it doesn't get as hot though because it is neon. It's interesting how they do that. And that just sits down in there. And this guy, I think I'm going to put one on this side. And then the original one was sitting there, like that. And maybe I'll, I don't know if I can tuck it in there still. No, what is it? It's just a little RTV like there. I could force it down in there. You know, because that's what you want to do with wires, is force it. Yeah, see, it's too much. I got quite a joint I made there. I might just do, they have like a little RTV, I might just do a little dab there to hold it there. And the case sits right on top, I believe. I don't think it'll interfere. Maybe, there's a little lip there. This whole thing might be in the way. Okay, let me investigate that a little bit. Okay, I had to mount the, well, I had the whole clock motor out because we were oiling it, so I had to remount it so I can see where exactly it's going to be visible. Get the bulb down in there. This case comes up and sits along here, so I can't have anything in the way. This is a little for the alarm. So I think this is going to be okay over here like this. And none of that should be disturbed. All right, now let's work on this one. This one's tough because it goes underneath this shield. So kind of got to hook it under, then make my connections up here. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a little tricky. Let's try that again with my fat fingers in there. So, yeah, I didn't know this piece came out. So I got this piece out. It just pried up. It sat in there like this. So I thought this was glued. Might have been glued to the front, but it came up with a little gentle prying. And now I can see that the bulb sat right in there. It did have a holder. And this little tab, we can bend that. In the meantime, while we're working on this. So now I need to route this out this way. And I added this, this came in this, just with one sleeve, but both wires were in there. And as you can see, they could easily cross. So I put another piece of shrink tubing in there. Probably should do a longer one at the end here. So maybe I'll make it longer. This is going to sit like that. And then it's going to hang out this way. Yeah, this is where it had like a little bend to it previously. That makes sense. All right, I must have just forced it out of there. So there we go. Then that'll come up. And I got to make the connections. Might cut back some of this. I still have to get the resistor in there. So maybe the connection will be back here somewhere. Okay. So another thing I probably could mention, resistors are not directional. They're not like a diode. A diode is a directional device. If I could just hold it hold up my hand. Yeah, that's all you gotta do. It's a fancy contraption. You just hold it with your hand. All right. Put her back in there. She's gonna go here. That. This little tab. Sorry. I need a camera on my glasses. Maybe I should start wearing a GoPro. There we go. So that's how she's going to sit. She's going to come out, make a vicious bend. Hopefully not too vicious. Let's stop this. She gonna go sit right in here. Right in here like this. Mm-hmm. Ah, there's a little contraption that holds it right there. Ah, perfect right there. All right, so that can't probably hit that lip right there because, yes, there's this hole here. This is a screw hole. All right, so it's got to make a turn. This has got to make a turn. There's also, is that a screw hole right there? No. All right, so we got to make a turn somehow. We'll have to cut that back. Make one connection here, one connection there, and we'll be done. This is a nice little tool to buy, a stitch ripper. This might do the trick, I don't know. It's more for when I'm working on cars to do the electrical conduit. Yeah, I think I just need like a razor blade for this, but it's good to have when you're going through conduit in a car. It just cuts it all, electrical tape, everything. So hit the sewing department. Don't forget your shrink tubing. That's like the easiest thing to forget when you're soldering. Let's put on the shrink tubing. That one will go there. This one's gonna need a piece. It's got a shrink tubing on it. Let's see, it's not gonna be long enough though. I cut it back. It's girthy. I'm sorry, I'm in the way there probably. Let's see. Should try and reuse this stuff. It's only 40, 50 years old. All right, before I go any further again, let's test this guy out. See if she's got the orange glow. And action. Can you see it? I can see it. There she is. She's lit. That's lit. I don't know why there's no light for this side, but apparently there isn't. All right, I'm just going to tuck those in, heat shrink them, and get this thing back together. All right. Oh, what a mess. What a mess. This is a dining room table, by the way. Anyway, so I got some zip ties. I had some really small ones. And I tucked that in there neatly. That should be all right there. This alarm button I never use anyway. And I think everything else is tight. I hope. Did I oil that motor? Or did I just clean it? So I can't remember. I did pick up some 3-in-1 oil. Just stuff good to have around the hizzy. Good to have around the hizzy. Oh, look at that. You'll never lose the cap. It's genius. Maybe I'll try a little of this, a dab of that. I can't remember if I oiled it. I'll go back and look at a video, see if I oiled it or not. Okay. Give her the old time check. She just did 2 laps at 59 101. I don't know how accurate I was. So she's keeping good time too before I put it back together. There she is. I think it's brighter than this picture. I don't know why they don't light up the radio dial, but that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and hope somebody wants to get involved in clocks. Now they're cool. These old flip clocks are fun. So they're a dime a dozen on the internet. Pick one up if you want. Usually just need a clean and lubrication, I think. But like this, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.